Hello everyone, Future Harry here. Just finished recording episode 1. I wanted to let you know before you get into it, it is definitely a work in progress. I hope you enjoy me waffling on. I hope you enjoy me going off on tangents, but let me know what you'd like to see from episode 2. That is scheduled for release on the 25th of January, and I hope you enjoy. Hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Let's Talk Shop. So, as I discussed in the trailer for this sort of mini podcast series, this first episode is all just going to be about the beginnings. So, where I fell in love with wood turning, where I tried it first, and also what happened when I got my first lathe. So I thought the best video to show while you're watching this and listening to me is actually the first project I uploaded to YouTube. So, watching it back now, there's so much that has changed. Obviously, my original lathe is gone. I bought it secondhand from a really nice chap, quite local to me. He gave me a load of free chisels and stuff like that. So that really helped me out when I first started to turn. But I digress. So let's go way back to the start. So originally, I first started wood turning. I was in the Scouts, and I went to the Kent International Jamboree. So for those of you that don't know, Kent is the county that I live in. So we went to this jamboree when I was about 16, 17. And there were loads of different courses you could sign up to. So I decided to try wood turning out, and a few of my mates came along as well. There was a big group of expert wood turners with loads and loads of lathes in this big marquee, and they asked what we wanted to turn. And this was really the first time I'd ever seen a lathe, apart from an engineering lathe. I did engineering at school, but yeah, in terms of a wood lathe, this was the first time I'd ever seen one. So there was lots of these like mushrooms on the side, so I was like, oh, we'll make one of them. So all of us split off into our little areas and went to a lathe and got sort of taught how to make this mushroom from a master wood turner. And as soon as I started doing that, I just instantly got hooked. This hobby that you can just go out and get a piece of wood, and the piece of wood they were using was literally just it was a freshly cut down sort of thin piece of sycamore, but it just amazed me that you could literally just whack any piece in that lathe, and then you can turn whatever you want, within limitations. But yeah, just the freedom that you can get with that, and that's something that I never had when I was doing some engineering work on the engineering lathe. It's all very precise, and I feel like you can't let your creativity flow, which you can do with wood. But anyway, so once I tried it in this marquee, I was just instantly hooked. And I remember going home after this camp and just looking at so many YouTube videos and just watching. And I went through a phase of about a year of literally just watching it and not having the money or not having the means or the area to get myself a lathe. And then I think I went off of it for a little bit. I started looking at other things. I was doing my doing my A-levels at the time, which is just before university for those who don't live in the UK and don't know what an A-level is. But yeah, so I was doing that at the time. I sort of went off of it until for some reason, I'd got all of my granddad's equipment. So my granddad was moving house, and he gave me a load of wood because I've always had a real passion for wood, and he gave me some machines. And one day, it was just before the first COVID lockdown in the UK, so March 2019, I'd like to say. For some reason, I decided to go out into this little lean-to shed we had outside, and I got out his chop saw that he gave me, and I started chopping up a piece of wild cherry that we'd got. I got out the burning the log pile because I wanted to chop it into just this little square blank, and I wanted to just carve a chess piece. Now, don't ask me why. I don't know why this idea came into my head, but I'd ordered some little rubbish sort of cheap chisels off of Amazon, and I thought, oh yeah, it'd be easy, just get this little square block and I'll just carve away. I think I may have watched Shawshank Redemption a few nights before and thought, yeah, that'll be easy to do out of wood like you did with the chess pieces out of stone. But anyway, so yeah, I started doing that, and then started looking at all the pieces of wood he gave me and things like that, and then just thought, actually, this lean-to shed, it could house a lathe in it, only just, but And then from that moment, I just really started thinking about it again. I started looking up YouTube videos, started researching it, and yeah, I really started to put a plan into action. So I'd found a lathe locally, and it was a record power variable speed lathe. It was everything I wanted. And I was watching the eBay auction, and I didn't want to bid until the very last minute, and I was at work, and all of a sudden my connection just went, and the bid wouldn't go through, and I was absolutely mortified. This lathe that I'd focused on for about a week or so, watching it on the auction with all the chisels, loads of wood blanks, it'd been taken away from me. So I was really upset, but I started looking again, and I found the lathe that you watched me turn with for about a year and a half. So this blue Axminster lathe that's actually older than me. It was made in 1999, so it's just a little bit older than me. But yeah, so I got this lathe, got it to the house, and then Dad and I moved it into this tiny lean-to shed that the chop saw and my granddad's wood had been in, and it only just fit, and it was really not fit for purpose, but I had a lathe, and that was all that mattered, really. And I think the first thing I did was, by the time we got it in there, it was about 8 o'clock at night. It was wet, it was cold, but I wanted to turn something. So I grabbed a piece of black walnut that the guy who gave me the lathe had given me, and I just strapped it to the lathe, and I just started. I hadn't watched videos for about a month or so I couldn't really remember everything I needed to do, and there was definitely some shortfalls at the time. I remember not fixing the tailstock to the lathe properly, and the piece flying out, and I remember getting the chisel caught and just getting used to each chisel, and it was a real learning curve, but an enjoyable one. But anyway, I think Dad looked out the window and could see how much it meant to me, and could see how much I was focusing on it, and I was coming in and showing them what I was doing and that, and I think they were really surprised how quickly I picked it up. So I remember saying to him a long time ago about his shed. So the shed that I've been filming my videos in ever since used to be full up of loads of rubbish. And I remember saying to him, what if we sort the rubbish out? The lathe could go in there and you could have it as a bit of a workshop. And I just remember him, no, I don't want to do that. It'd take too much time, etc. I've got other things to focus on. But now, because you could see how much I was engaged with this, he was like, okay, let's do it. So during the first COVID lockdown, we started to take everything out. We started to paint the walls, paint the floors, set up tables in there, get it all sorted, and it was about 6 months of work until everything was in there, and I couldn't wait to get the lathe in there. I was so looking forward to it. And then as soon as the lathe got in there, all of the build up just went away, and I really didn't have motivation to wood turn, and it was the most odd thing. I think I was so excited to do it, and as soon as the time was there and I was ready, and the first time I've ever had a workshop, I've always wanted one, I just didn't have any motivation, couldn't think of what I wanted to turn, so I left it. And it was about 4 or 5 months, I think, and then I went into the workshop, and I just turned, I can't remember what I turned, a bowl or something like that. Yeah, I did a few bowls, and they were going really well, and they looked really good. So I just thought, actually, well, I really enjoy this hobby, and why don't I film my progress? I can film mainly to show my family what I'm doing, and also to look back on it and to sort of see how I improve over time. The idea was never really to gain sort of fame on YouTube or show other people how I turn. It was just it was just for my friends and family and myself, really. I bought a used Canon camera off of eBay, and I just sort of set it up and started turning. And I tried to make it look like other people's wood turning videos, sort of trying to make it a little bit professional and a nice thing to watch. And I remember editing the footage on my brother's laptop in the kitchen, and the laptop really couldn't handle it, and it crashed so many times, and it took about 3 hours to render the video. And I put the video out, and I sent it to a few of my friends and family. I wasn't expecting much, and it didn't do much. So I left it so this was posted in June 2020 or something like that, or 2021. And yeah, I just left it for a bit, and then I started a new job in 2021, and after about a month of this new job, I thought I need something to sort of calm me down. I need something to relax me. So I'll go back into the workshop and I'll start turning stuff and recording it again. And that was in February, as I say, February 2021. And ever since, I've just been putting videos up and seeing what your reactions are, and then growing it from there, really. I can't believe how well it's gone, and how it continues to grow. Obviously, my techniques have got a lot better, and the editing's different now, and the pieces I'm making are far better than this geometric vase you're watching right now. But you know, everyone's got to start somewhere, and watching this back and thinking about everything that's changed. You know, it's such a short period of time, but I can't remember not having certain equipment in the workshop. You know, I've had my new lathe for about 6 months, and that just opens up to so many different possibilities. You know, this old lathe was great, and it was a really nice starter lathe, but it's not as sophisticated as my new one, and the new one, just the variable speed on it is something else. But anyway, I'm sorry to sort of witter on. This is what these sort of mini podcasts are going to be about, I think, just seeing what comes to my mind when we're watching this video in front, and then just sort of talking through it. And I'm also going to try to answer some of your questions as well, and I've tried to sort of bear some of those in mind. So some people have asked me about my lathes. So yeah, this blue one lasted me for a good 2.5 years, and then I've got my brand new grey one, both from Axminster, and the links are in the description of most of my videos. But yeah, with the new lathe, it's just a whole new experience. And the pieces I'm turning now, most of them are only possible with the new lathe. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want something like this again. I do enjoy doing them. I'm sorry I witter on so much. Let me know if you want anything changed in this format, or if you think it's perfect, and I can go more about how I started in the next one. I know I've sort of focused on the very, very beginnings and the beginnings of YouTube, but yeah, just let me know, and thank you very much for all the support as always. See you later.